My name is Steve Mounts from Sicon, and I'd like to spend a few minutes taking you through our Works Order Processing module. Now, the module could be used by companies who do production line manufacturing, or it could be a larger organization that does projects with on-costs where manufacturing is part of the process. Our projects module can help with that. They could be doing prototypes or small runs, or they could be working in a customer demand-driven environment. So I guess the first place to start is to see where it fits into the Sage world. So here we have Sage commercials with bill of materials. From a manufacturing point of view, the stock control system will hold the components and finished items, and the bill of materials contains the recipe for the item you want to make. Now, if we insert the Works Order Processing module, you can see it's right in the middle of the manufacturing, and the bill of materials feeds it with the recipe to make the item you need. But to manufacture anything, there's usually a demand. The two main types of demands is make for your own stock and make for a customer order. There is a third type of demand which we will look at when we go through the MRP module, which is to manufacture for your own stock based on minimum stock levels. So we're going to start by looking at manufacturing for your own stock, and for that we need a works order. So here we are in the works order screen, and the first thing I need to do is to tell the system what I'm going to manufacture. So I'm going to let's choose a watch head. There we go. We're making some watch units. I need to say how many, so I want to make 5, and I can interact with the start date and the due date, so I know when it needs to be finished by or when I want to start it. Once I've got that information in, I can create the works order, and what will happen is it will flush through from the bill of materials all the components that I require and the quantities. This screen will also show me if we've got any in stock or any on order, or the variations of this screen to show me lots of other information. But the bill of material doesn't just contain the components, it can also contain what's known as operations. So I have an operation to actually assemble this item, and I've got to assemble 5. So for example, it will show me the labor content needed. It could be machines as well. It could be a subcontractor. In other words, all the things I need to make this. So once I've got the bill of material created, I can then either allocate and or issue the stock to the works order. So if I allocate that stock, it's effectively going to reserve it in Sage 200 so that nobody else can use it, for example. I may then want to print some documentation. So it might be a works order, it might be a detail with sub-assemblies, it may be a picking list. Whatever the shop floor needs to know what the manufacturing process is and indeed where to go and find the items. I can then, if I want to, also issue the stock from Sage 200 for the works order. So at this stage I've got the stock issued and allocated, I've produced the documents I need, and I've manufactured. What I then need to do is to tell the system how many I've made. So I'm going to book the finished items into stock. So we go in there, it comes up with a default of 5 because that's how many were on the works order. But I may not have made 5 today, I may have made 3 and I'm going to make 2 tomorrow. But in this instance, I'm going to say I've made all 5. Now, because in Sage 200 it's classed as a serial or batch tracked item, I need to give the finished items a batch or serial number. So I'm just going to put a number in there. If I save that away, effectively now the 5 finished items have been booked into stock at the combined cost of the materials, labor, machines, anything else that went in it, and it's removed all of the components and issued them out of stock. So far we've been working on a single works order, but the system will allow you to process bulk works orders all at the same time, and you can retrospectively manufacture or backflush using different parts of the system. So we looked at works order in relation to our own stock. What I want to explore now is creating a works order in relation to a sales order from a customer. I've created a sales order in Sage 200 for some premium watch units, quantity of 3, and the system's recognized that we don't have any in stock. Because I've activated the integration between sales orders and works orders, this screen has popped up to give me the option, if I want to auto-create the works order that's needed to fulfill this sales order. Now it's assuming that I want to manufacture 3 because that's how many on the order, but I could say I just want to manufacture 2 or 3 at this stage. And if there were multiple lines, they'd all appear here, and I would have the choice to activate which ones I want and the quantities I want to manufacture. So if I say create the works order for the watch head, it will automatically now, within the works order processing, create the works order. So here we have the works order generated from the sales order. You notice that the number of the works order matches the sales order. So it's number 5598 was the sales order, and this is the first line. So that's excellent for tracking and tracing your sales order through the system. You would then go on to process this works order in the way that we saw earlier. So just to recap, we've seen how the works order processing integrates with the rest of the Sage modules. We've been able to create a works order from a bill of materials, bringing through all the components, labor and machine time. We've continued the sales order process by automatically creating the works order from the sales order if required. And we've seen how the system has managed finished and component stock. I'd like to thank you for watching this video, so please look out for the ones we have on our other modules, or you will see some more detailed ones on manufacturing.